Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Legal Matters with the Crosby Law Firm. I'm your host, Alan Jones, and with me this evening is attorney Michael Crosby with the Crosby Law Firm. Legal Matters is an informational and news call-in show devoted to legal topics of interest to Stateline viewers. We have attorneys standing by right now to take your phone call at the number on your screen. That's 815-397-2006. They'll be able to provide you with free information on your issue. So call now and call throughout the next hour. We'll take a look at tonight's opening statement. It's entitled Your Guide to Advanced Care Planning for You and Your Loved Ones. Tonight we'll be concentrating on wills, trusts, powers of attorney, probate matters, and other advanced care planning tools. And then, of course, coming up in the second segment, we'll continue our popular You Want to Know question and answer session devoted to questions posed by you, the viewer, by way of telephone calls, emails, texts, and tweets that the office has received. But before we get started tonight, let's take time to remind you of the practice areas in which the Crosby Law Firm concentrates. The Crosby Law Firm has a Center for Divorce and Family Law, an Auto Accident, Injury, and Social Security Disability Department, a Bankruptcy Institute, an Office for DUI, Traffic, and Criminal Defense, an Advanced Care Plan and Probate Center, a division for real estate and business matters, and a department for immigration and naturalization services. So please feel free to call tonight and discuss any of these practice areas with the attorneys who are standing by. That number again, 815-397-2006. And Michael, here we are in the month of February already. It's amazing. It's gone by so quickly. Celebrating both Valentine's Day and President's Day. Tonight we're talking about advanced care planning. So can you associate all of that with Valentine's Day and President's Day?
Well, it's a bit of a stretch, but I'll see if I can't connect the dots for our viewers out there. Many folks at Valentine's Day don't hesitate to give their wives or their loved ones a bouquet of roses or a box of candy. Well, a more significant gift, perhaps this February, would be for families with loved ones and friends and relatives to take some time to plan regarding their advanced care plan. Wills, trusts, powers of attorney. These documents, if they're in place in a family unit, can save the family a lot of time and energy and stress down the road. So very important documents for all of our families to have in place. I can't think of a better Valentine's Day gift short of roses or short of a box of candy than perhaps to give your family an advanced care plan. So kind of thought it would be a good topic to touch on tonight.
Well, it may not be romantic, but it is important.
That's
true. You have
to
consider that part. That's for sure. Well, there does seem to be a lot of information out there about advanced care and doing wills, and a lot of it seems to be a do-it-yourself kind of thing. You can pick up many books, find it on the internet. While many people may do it, is it an important way to prepare for the future?
Alan, that's a good question. Advanced care planning for our viewers and their loved ones is extremely important. And at the risk of sounding somewhat self-serving, these documents should only be prepared by attorneys that concentrate in this particular area of law. Emotional issues concerning parents, children, grandparents, and their advanced care plans are significant, and financial consequences concerning these matters may also be substantial. So the engagement of a competent attorney to assist viewers regarding these matters is essential. And frankly, in our office, the flat fees that we charge our clients for an advanced care plan are rather modest when compared to the emotional and financial expense that our viewers can incur if they attempt to navigate these matters without the benefit of an attorney. So I'd encourage our viewers to call in. It's a free consultation. Be happy to address any of their issues concerning these matters.
Okay, and the number to call, by the way, please call at 815-397-2006. And as Michael just said, it is a free telephone call tonight and a free consultation in the office as well. So be sure and check that out. Again, 815-397-2006. Now, as I understand it, one of the basic documents of an advanced plan is a will. So how complicated is that to do? Who needs to have a will? Is that something everybody should have?
Frankly, Alan, in our society, in our culture, whether you are 21 or 90, whether you're worth $1 or $1 million, everyone in our society should have a will. To the lawyer, it's not a very complicated document. To the viewer out there, it certainly is. And that's why they need to confer with a lawyer. It develops a roadmap in the family unit as to what should happen upon the death of a loved one, who the executor is going to be, how the assets will be dispersed, so forth and so on. So it's a vitally important document as part of an advanced care plan.
Okay, so what else is in there? The death instruments, living trusts. Talk about the probate process a little bit.
Sure. A basic advanced care plan is comprised of the will, a living will, which is a directive as to what should happen if you're on life support, terminally ill. Also a healthcare power of attorney, a durable power of attorney, a HIPAA affidavit that would give your next of kin, your spouse, consent to get to your medical records, a transfer and death instrument, which is designed to convey or pass your house to designated loved ones upon your death without having to go through the probate process. So there's about 6 to 7, perhaps 8 basic documents that our office prepares for each individual who comes to us for an advanced care plan.
Okay, so it's much more than just preparing a will and having that. I know that's a common instrument, and a lot of people do have that.
The will is a core document, a very important document to it, and perhaps the hub of the estate plan or the advanced care plan. These other documents are as vitally important as well.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Well, again, the number to call is 815-397-2006. Stay tuned for our rapid fire You Want to Know question and answer segment coming up after the break.
It's a new day in the Rock River Valley. Construction projects are underway. The housing market is recovering, and confidence is returning. As we celebrate this perseverance, the Stateline is prouder, stronger, and better. And so too are the individuals who have relied upon the leadership of the Crosby Law Firm to protect their rights. In honor of the American spirit, the Crosby Law Firm proudly salutes we the people of the Stateline community.
And welcome back, everyone. Now, in response to the enormous support, thousands of telephone calls, and positive feedback from viewers in connection with the Legal Matters Show, we're continuing our rapid-fire question and answer segment called You Want to Know. Now, in an effort to protect viewer confidentiality, please understand we're only using first names. We may alter the location of the viewer and the nature of the question somewhat. So we'll start with the first one tonight. Now, in keeping with our Valentine's Day and President's Day theme, we'll try to tie it all together. We picked some questions that may relate to the two holidays. May relate. The first question comes from Mark in Rockford. We're into a new year, and my wife and I are talking about a divorce. We have children and property from our marriage, and my wife has children and property from a previous marriage. So how can your law firm be of help?
With Valentine's Day on us and President's Day on us, I'm not quite certain how a divorce question ties into the romantic holiday of Valentine's Day, but here we go. Our office does a ton of family law work in Northern Illinois, a lot of divorce work. There's been a previous marriage, then there was a current marriage with children and property accumulated. In almost every divorce, we have children issues regarding custody, visitation, child support. We've also got to be concerned in a marriage where there's some duration and there's been some property acquired as to how to fairly and equitably divide the property. Also issues of alimony and maintenance. Also issues as to how to handle the divorce from the moment it starts to the moment it ends, so that there's fairness and equity and hopefully some tranquility in the family unit while the divorce is making its way through the system. Extremely important issues. I'd encourage the viewers to give us a call. A lot of our practice is devoted to family law and divorce work. Very difficult area. Be happy to give you a helping hand. Please feel free to give us a call.
Okay, and that number is 815-397-2006. You can call right now. Well, our second question tonight comes from Joseph in Rockford. He says, my dad died several years ago, leaving his property to my mom. My mom recently died, and in going through her important papers, my sister and I have discovered that she had 2 signed wills, leaving all of her possessions to different people. He says this is quite a mess. I would concur. I'm concerned about the cost of making certain we hire a lawyer who knows what he's doing. How should we handle this?
Very good question from Joseph out there. In our office, remember, there is a free initial consultation where our office will sit with the client, diagnose their issues, analyze the problem, and reflect on it and help the client problem solve. Most of our work, particularly work in this area, we tend to charge a flat fee. So we're not charging by the hour. So a client doesn't have to worry about a 5-minute phone call and getting a bill, a 2-paragraph letter and getting a bill. It's a flat charge. More specifically to Joseph's question on the 2 wills. General rule, the second will, the date on the second will supersede the first will. So Joseph, while at first blush you were concerned about the two wills and evidently the contradictions in both, it's the second will that by and large will prevail, assuming your parent at the time they signed the second will had the mental capacity and knew what they were signing. So this is an issue. You're not inventing the wheel. Please give us a call. We'll be happy to walk you through the issue and how to resolve it.
Okay, great advice. Thanks for that. Next question from Cindy in Boone County. When I think of President's Day in my parents' generation, I think of FDR. I know he was responsible for Social Security, and I'm currently thinking about applying for Social Security disability. Does the Crosby Law Firm help clients with disability claims?
Very good question from Cindy. I would hazard a guess that in the 20th century, the Social Security Act, perhaps along with the Civil Rights Acts, the Voting Rights Acts, were some of the most significant pieces of legislation of the 20th century. Our office does a lot of Social Security disability work. One of the provisions of the Social Security Act affords those who have paid into the system, who may be disabled, to file for a disability claim. It's a rather complicated process. A significant part of our practice is devoted to it. So Cindy, if you're contemplating a Social Security claim, and you've contacted the Social Security Administration, and you kind of feel like you're bumping up against the bureaucratic brick wall, so to speak, please give us a call. We work these cases typically on a percentage basis. We don't get paid unless we recover for ladies like Cindy. So please give us a call. A lot of our practice is devoted to Social Security disability work.
Okay, and the number again, 815-397-2006. Quickly, the last question is from Susan tonight from Rockford. I have read newspaper articles regarding the former AmRock building in downtown Rockford becoming a new hotel, and evidently the federal government has an immigration program allowing people from other countries to obtain U.S. visas if they invest in certain projects, such as the AmRock building. My family's acquainted with a foreign exchange student, and he's interested from a wealthy family, would like to remain in America. Does the immigration program help that student?
Well, that question kind of ties in with President's Day, folks. The President of the United States has signed legislation. Congress has passed the legislation that has set up a program that's commonly referred to as the EB-5 program. If a foreigner wants to come to our country and invest $500,000 in a program that can create up to 10 jobs and designated by the government as one of these programs, they may qualify for a U.S. visa. In our town, I noticed recently in a newspaper article that I brought today, discussion regarding the AmRock building and the hotel that's being built there, and the developer is using this program. A lot of our client representation regarding immigration work pertains to immigrants who want to make these kinds of investments. So I'd encourage any of you folks out there who are listening who may have immigration issues to give us a call. We do a lot of immigration work as well.
All right, thanks, Michael, for that. Again, the number, we have lawyers standing by until 7:30 tonight. The number to call is 815-397-2006. It's all the time we have with the Crosby Law Firm. Legal Matters continues with Mark Brennison from the American Law Firm when we come back after a break.
It's a new day in the Rock River Valley. Construction projects are underway. The housing market is recovering, and confidence is returning. As we celebrate this perseverance, the Stateline is prouder, stronger, and better. And so too are the individuals who have relied upon the leadership of the Crosby Law Firm to protect their rights. In honor of the American spirit, the Crosby Law Firm proudly